Back at it again. What is up, everybody? Coming back with another video. I know it's been a while, I say that every time. Gonna cut right to the chase. So I know Halloween is coming up in a couple weeks, and as a UCSB student, you know exactly what that means. Costume parties everywhere all weekend. But UCSB students already know how it goes here, so this video is for people that come from all over to visit UCSB and Isla Vista for the weekend. I'm personally in my third year here, so I definitely know my way around the block. This video is tips and advice for coming to UCSB over Halloween weekend. Now, first things first, I'm gonna assume you have a ride here. If you don't, get that figured out, but let's just assume you do. If you have a friend that's living in the dorms here in their first year, you should probably ask them first, to see if they have any room available. Now, the dorms aren't the biggest, but you could probably fit about 3 or 4 bodies in there for you and your squad. If your friend lives in an apartment, just ask them. Also, by the way, most apartment complexes have first come first serve parking open to the public, so you could probably just park there. And if you can't find a parking there, just park on the street. Now, if you haven't spoken to this student in a while, just make small talk for at least 5 messages just to get acquainted again. And then after about 5 or 6, just get right to the point. A lot of students are pretty busy this time around because of midterms and all that stuff, so they don't have a lot of time to chit chat. Just get right to the point. Most students are totally willing to let you stay with them. It's always nice seeing a familiar face, and especially a familiar face from high school. Now, as far as partying, you don't really need much of a plan while going out. There's parties like everywhere. And really don't worry about knowing anybody because students here are super nice and they just want to party. They don't care about that much. The way they see it, the more the merrier. Personally, I get into about 2 parties alone every single weekend on a normal weekend. So imagine with how many parties there are during Halloween, how many you could get into. Oh, and guy to girl ratios are totally a myth in Isla Vista. Some parties demand at least a 1 girl to 3 guy ratio, but that's really not that hard. You can just grab a girl from the street and head right to the door and get in. One of the most popular apps to find parties here is Yik Yak. Usually there'll be about 3 people posting an address on a normal weekend, so Halloween Yik Yak will be flooded with party addresses. Besides DP, look out for parties on Trigo and Abrego. Of course, DP is better and you really can't beat it, but Trigo and Abrego are definitely the 2nd and 3rd best party streets. Now let's get into how to actually act at a party. Girls here are like a really good baseball pitcher. I would know because I strike out a lot. But at parties, dancing with UCSB girls is pretty simple. At a typical party, girls will have a few drinks, and they aren't really looking for a conversation, they're looking for a dancing partner. Pretty much all you need to do is pick out a girl and just go dance behind her. It shows that you're taking initiative and she'll definitely like that. Girls can be shy sometimes and aren't really always willing to ask a guy to dance, so putting yourself out there is your best option. Now, I know in typical communities, just going up to a girl and dancing behind her would be like weird or creepy, but Isla Vista isn't a typical community. You can get away with a lot of things here that you wouldn't be able to in other sceneries. And if you see ads on Pandora or Facebook posts about staying away from Ivy and UCSB for Halloween, and this is because of the police presence, trust me, that stuff is a huge myth just to scare people away so we don't have another riot like we did in 2013. In my 2 Halloweens in Ivy, I have rarely seen cops, and there's always those few on DP, but it's not a huge upped police presence. And even then, the officers on DP are pretty lenient and cool. They know how it goes here. If they just see people stumbling down DP one night, they just kind of look at you and say, man, that kid's enjoying the time of their life. And I mean, cops also really don't mind visible alcohol either. Some people say that you get in trouble for having a 6-pack with you or an open 4 Loko or something. It's a party scene. They know that if you don't drink in front of them, you're just gonna go out and drink in front of somebody else. The way they see it is it's better for you to be drunk in front of them where they can actually take care of you and help you out if something goes wrong than you drunkenly risking yourself on a cliff where they can't help you whatsoever. So yeah, don't worry about police officers. The few that are there, they're there to make sure you have a good time. Other than that, I don't really have much more advice for you guys. I mean, if you guys have any more additional questions, you can just ask in the comments down below. I'll gladly answer. While you're at it, feel free to click like and go ahead and subscribe to see post-rager footage from my channel that I'm gonna post. I hope you enjoy your trip to UCSB. It's gonna be the most fun Halloween weekend you've ever had. Remember, be safe, drink responsibly, and make memories that'll last a lifetime at UCSB.